Hello everyone, Simcraft here, and welcome to my very first top 10 video. How exciting! Today we'll be talking about perhaps my favorite Wii game, Super Mario Galaxy. Specifically the levels that kept me there the longest. Not because I love to revisit them, but because they were difficult. Today we are looking at the top 10 hardest Super Mario Galaxy stars. Coming in at number 10, just barely making the list, is Star Bunnies in the Snow. Found at the Snowcap Galaxy, this level shouldn't be all that difficult. You just need to activate a few switches, burn down a few things, and catch the bunnies. Sounds simple enough, right? Wrong. The switches are hidden under the snow, so you can't see them. The bunnies are hiding within some destructible objects, on a planet filled with destructible objects. And good luck catching the little guys if you don't know the super secret strategy. Sure, once you know where everything is, it's not that bad, but on the first few tries, this level can get quite annoying. At number 9, we have Gizmo's Gears and Gadgets, found in one of the trial galaxies, namely Rolling Gizmo Galaxy. This is one of 3 levels in the game that has you use the ball mechanic, where you use your Wii remotes like a joystick to move Mario while he's standing on a ball. As I've said, this is one of 3 levels in the game to use this mechanic, and to say it prepares you is like saying running for 30 minutes on a treadmill prepares you to run a marathon. It really doesn't. The level itself turns it up to 11 with narrow paths with no railings, blocks that push you off, heck, they even throw bombs at you. I've spared some of the difficulty of this level because I owned Super Mario Galaxy 2 before Super Mario Galaxy and had more practice with the ball mechanic, but nevertheless, this is a difficult level. After you beat Super Mario Galaxy, you unlock a new kind of level, namely Purple Coin Comets. These come in 2 flavors. There are those that are calm and peaceful with 100 coins spread out over a large level. At times they get a little annoying or tedious, but usually not hard. Then there are the ones that put you under a time limit or on a moving platform. These are the ones that are truly difficult. Purple Coins in the Bone Pen is the definition of the latter. At number 8, found in the Ghostly Galaxy, is, you guessed it, Purple Coins in the Bone Pen, which takes place in, guess where? The Bone Pen, a small pen where your only means of traversal are pulse stars. And while pulse stars definitely show up more than, say, the ball mechanic, they still aren't your usual means of transportation. But pulse stars are the least of your worries, because you must collect 100 purple coins in 1 minute. That's right, 1 minute. I think I've said enough. Coming in at number 7 is Purple Coins on the Puzzle Cube, a level located in the Gusty Garden Galaxy. This is, as the title implies, another Purple Coin level, and once again, of the timed variety. This time you have 2.5 minutes to collect 100 coins. You might be thinking, 2.5 minutes? That's over twice as long as you had for Purple Coins in the Bone Pen. How could this be any harder? And to you I would say, good job. You know basic multiplication. But aside from that, I would tell you that, well, in the Bone Pen, you merely dragged Mario into coins. This time there are coins in annoying to get places, such as these wooden planks here. Not to mention, it's a lot easier to forget how everything connects to each other, and how to get from point A to point B in the 3D puzzle cube than the 2D Bone Pen. Also, the coins aren't nearly as densely packed on Puzzle Cube as they are in the Bone Pen. And about that time limit, I still cut it about as close on Puzzle Cube as I do on Bone Pen. Just look at this. Hailing from the Dreadnought Galaxy, Dreadnought's garbage dump takes number 6 on this list. If I was making a top 10 most annoying Super Mario Galaxy stars, this one would take the cake. It is by far the most annoying level in Super Mario Galaxy. The basic concept is blow up some trash on the platform with some bombs. Sounds simple enough, almost sounds easy. But then I tell you, this level has a time limit of 30 seconds. Now there's only about a dozen or so piles of trash, but due to the time limit and the placement of the trash, if you mess up once, it's over. Perhaps the only merciful thing about this level is that it doesn't kill you if you fail, but if you fail enough to be glad it doesn't kill you for it, then friends, you have a hard level on your hands. Number 5 is Luigi's Purple Coins from Toy Time Galaxy. This is yet another timed purple coin star, but this time isn't the issue. It's the level design. Luigi's Purple Coins takes place on a giant 8-bit Luigi. The problem being that practically every tile gets destroyed or starts flipping once you step on them. When you attempt this star, you need to plan out your route, otherwise you may strand yourself on the opposite side of the planet from the star. At least you don't have to get every coin, that would make this star quite annoying to get, but perhaps the worst part about this star is we got an arguably harder version in the sequel. Most Daredevil stars aren't that hard. They usually just consist of fighting some boss that wasn't all that hard to begin with, the only change being that you have 1 health. But Bouldergeist isn't just some boss. At number 4, the Ghost of the Galaxy's Bouldergeist's Daredevil run is far and away the hardest Daredevil boss. Well, the second half is. To be honest, even on Daredevil, Bouldergeist's first phase was pretty easy. Unfortunately, the same can't be said for the second phase. I feel like Bouldergeist's second phase was specifically planned to be hard to do as a Daredevil run. For starters, his hands make it ridiculously hard to hit him. This is compounded by the fact that they come back after a short while, so you can't whittle away at them for a long-term benefit. Generally, if you don't want to go through a hand to get at him, you have to get close up. The problem with this strategy being that will generally end up with you getting hit by rocks as he's summoning them from the ground. This boss can take so long to beat, and when one hit will kill you, this star is hard as rock. Get it? Because he's made of rocks? Sorry about that. At number 3, hailing from the Dreadnought Galaxy, Battle Station's Purple Coins is the hardest purple coin star in the game. So far we've talked about purple coin stars hard because of level design and because of a time limit. And while Battle Station's Purple Coins doesn't technically have a time limit, it delivers on both of these traits in spades. For starters, this level takes place on a moving platform under heavy cannon fire. And while they do give you a life mushroom, it really doesn't matter, since one cannonball usually sends you off the platform. Now about that whole moving platform thing, it has one dire consequence, being that if you miss one coin, it's impossible to get that coin. On top of that, unlike the previous entries on this list, this star requires 100% of the coins to be collected. You miss one and you might as well just kill yourself because you can't get all of the coins at that point. Now with regard to the level design itself, it's pretty tricky. Notable is the part where you're sideways. This part always throws me off, and I end up moving in the wrong direction, which causes me to miss coins. And there's no coming back from that. The basic concept of the trial galaxies in Super Mario Galaxy was take a mechanic we used in 1 or 2 levels earlier in the game and crank it up to 11. The combination of hard levels and unmastered mechanic created some difficult levels. Of the 3, we'll call them gimmick mechanics, I was always the worst at the bubble. So I'm sure you can imagine why Bubble Blast Galaxy's level, the Electric Labyrinth, makes it to number 2 on this list. The Electric Labyrinth comes in 2 generous helpings. The first involves going through 5 different areas to get 5 star chips. While each individual area isn't that bad if you're patient, dying once, which is easy to do since touching anything kills you, will start the level all over again with all progress gone. If you do manage to get past this part, the next part features bolt bills, mines, more electric walls, a particularly narrow path, and much more. If I had to give advice for this part, I'd say take your time. Unfortunately, the bolt bills invalidate this option. At least the level is merciful enough to give you a checkpoint. Unfortunately, that can't be said about number 1. If you don't mind me restating something I've said earlier in this video, most Daredevil stars aren't that hard. They usually just consist of fighting some boss that wasn't all that hard to begin with, the only change being you have 1 health. Now, despite Melty Molten Galaxy having a perfectly good boss to use as the Daredevil run, they went for a different approach. I present to you my number 1 pick for the top 10 hardest Super Mario Galaxy stars, Lava Spire Daredevil run. This is the one and only Daredevil run to consist of an entire level, rather than a boss, and thank goodness it's the only one. You basically play through the first star in Melty Molten Galaxy, with 1 health and no checkpoints. Take 1 point of damage and you're dead, and sent right to the beginning. It's as brutal as it sounds. I have distinct memories of spending entire nights trying to get past this level, spending dozens of lives. This is, in my opinion, without a doubt, the hardest Super Mario Galaxy level. Funny enough, I apparently got really good at this level, to the point that when I was recording footage for this video, I actually one-shot it. But that cannot overrule the hours I spent on this level when I was first completing this game, and the 30+ lives I spent on a Luigi attempt. Do you agree with my list? Either way, why don't you post your opinion in the comments below? If you'd like to see more videos like this, leave a like or a comment. Anyways guys, that'll be all for today, and until next time, I've been SeaMcraft, and I'll catch you in the next episode.